Hi, I'm James Hodge, the Group Vice President and Chief Strategy Advisor for Splunk in EMEA, and I'm here at conf25, one of my favorite weeks of the year. It's been full of announcements, been packed with product updates, we've heard about the vision for Cisco, but most importantly, I've got an amazing person with me. We've got Lauren Wilson, and we're going to start to go through kind of what's your first .conf here. So Lauren, maybe just introduce yourself and then we'll chat about your first .conf.
Yeah, thank you, Hodge. So, hi, I'm Lauren Wilson, and I'm the newest field CTO based in EMEA, but primarily focused on the UK and Ireland. I bring a wealth of security knowledge from my previous decade in cyber defense, and I'm really excited to be here at Splunk and .conf. So, my highlights, there's so many to choose from, but I think just the energy and the community that's really here at Splunk. I've never met an organization where so many people just love the brand and love what we're about, and it's really good to see that enthusiasm all up close and personal with a lot of people that are here today.
It's been like a super cool vibe to it, hasn't it? My first .conf was in 2013. I don't think we've lost the essence of what's really almost a magical kind of show, very different to any other tech conference you've probably ever been to.
Yeah, definitely, and just like I say, the community, it's like nothing else. And actually, one of my favorite moments was seeing colleague, Kirsty Payne, on one of the keynotes that she did alongside, our exec, and seeing it's like in her prime, the top of her career, a technologist doing a live demo in front of so many people. It's just, seeing the community come together around people, it's exciting.
And that demo Kirsty did, she made it look effortless, and actually,
I know.
Right, so you're a super technologist, but you're not actually hands on keyboards anymore. The demo Kirsty did, what did kind of that AI canvas, what did it bring to you? When you looked at that kind of imagine you 5 years ago kind of doing that role?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think just seeing it live is a really good way to interact with the new technology that's coming out, because as a previous analyst, I've been looking at her using it, and you can always put yourself in that position and be like, oh yeah, I can definitely see how that, bringing that back into the office, into the organizations that we work for, how that's going to really help us, that agentic SOC that we keep talking about, how it's going to really superpower, the future of what AI and SOC coming together looks like.
Yeah, it can almost you could, in the future, you're not actually going to have to hire people with Splunk skills. You're actually going to be looking at how do we go and bolster your security skills? How do we get those inquisitive minds and really focus on that? And I think that agentic AI, kind of that canvas AI, is the first kind of into simplifying how you use technology and tools.
Yeah, definitely, and the skills that we're going to be asking of new people to have is going to change as well. I think that's going to be an exciting development, and more softer people skills and how you translate what the AI canvas is giving you to execs and others, and really taking that information and using it is going to be a much stronger skill, like you say, than maybe some of the harder core technical skills that used to be a prerequisite for some of those roles.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. And Kirsty, what a phenomenal job, doing a live demo on stage. I don't think I would have the nerves to be able to do that. I'd be shot to pieces.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, hats off to her. She did a great job. And for a woman as well, it's great to see. I've known Kirsty for many years, seeing her do that, definite highlight for me from .conf already.
Oh, it's brilliant. I'm going to ask you slightly off piece. I know we had a script.
Oh, okay.
What advice would you give to someone coming? So 12 years ago, 2013 was my first one.
Yeah.
Coming here next year, what would you kind of to get the most out of it? What would you advise someone that's coming next year to do?
Good question. I think just being open. I didn't know what to expect. I think that was the magic of it. So coming here and just going around the show floor here and just really being open and engaging with the many demos that we have here. And I think that's the beauty of it. You're here seeing it come to life in different ways. We've got the home, all the cool technology that we're trying to show how Splunk can help our customers. And I think just being open, being inquisitive, and making new connections, because I think we lose that face-to-face connection a lot of the time. But events like this, where we're here in Boston and we're bringing together people from all around the world to talk about Splunk, and what's more exciting than that?
I know, you can definitely see the excitement on your face on that. So we're going to maybe shift the gears a little bit. So taking the Cisco message, that one Cisco message, a big part of that is digital resilience, and how we can kind of prepare for digital resilience in an agentic era. That's quite a big kind of term. How would you kind of unpack that? And more specifically, what does that mean, and what have you seen this week for EMEA customers as they grapple that digital resilience?
Yeah, we've been talking about cyber resilience, digital resilience, and actually just thinking about something that I saw yesterday on LinkedIn. So National Cybersecurity Centre are really talking about what digital cyber resilience means for them, because they actually said yesterday they find it more important than cyber defence, which is a really grand statement, massive statement, and I wholeheartedly believe in it, because we need to not only protect and prevent incidents from happening, but when they do happen inevitably, when we're seeing the threat landscape evolving and continually getting worse. It's about how you then recover and get back to what you were pre-incident. So I think resilience, two parts: preventing, but also what are we doing as organizations to make sure our systems can recover quickly. And key part of that, visibility, right? We need to see our network and estate. We need to see every single corner of any potential asset that could be compromised. And the quicker we see it, the quicker we can respond and hopefully limit the damage that is done by attackers. And that for me is what resilience really means, is detecting early and hopefully minimizing business disruption.
Nice, and I think taking EMEA customers, we've got things like data sovereignty, we've got AI legislation coming through, cloud legislation, data legislation.
So many.
There's just you're welcome, we've got lots of regulation. Do you think that actually taking a data strategy approach, what we talked a lot with the Cisco Data Fabric this week, being able to understand what's inside your environment actually helps with that kind of being compliant for regulation, it actually helps. Do you think it's a foundation for that? I'll maybe ask you it in a simpler way. Do you think that, especially your old role as a practitioner, that having that strong data foundations allows you to go and kind of tackle these regulations with, I won't say ease, it's not easy, but it puts you on the best front foot?
Oh, definitely. Knowing what you have, again, visibility and observability is key. If you don't know what you have, what can you protect? And how can you show compliance against that if you're yourselves not aware of how expansive your networks and the cloud era, everything, developers are popping up new piece of infrastructure all the time. How can we demonstrate compliance if we can't see that and if we're not applying policies to that? So we, Splunk, Cisco, are really ahead of the game, and the unique partnership that we have to bring that together from full stack protection, thinking about reducing the cost of impact to the UK, EMEA customers, shifting cybersecurity left as far as we can down the stack, allowing detection and prevention right down the bottom layer is revolutionary, and I think a really key One Cisco message that we need to land.
Nice. And so think about the product announcements that we've had here. What do you think is going to help facilitate that? And actually, what made you excited? Because how many months are you here? You're 3 months.
I know, right?
Into Splunk. So
in
what's
the
a baptism of fire? You're here on camera talking about this first conf, product announcements. There were so many. What are you going to take away from that?
I think the one that's most exciting for me, I think thinking back to my, earlier on in my career, what would help me the most, and seeing the triage agent that we've got, again, think about the Agentic AI, future of the SOC, having a triage agent that can go away and really categorize those different alerts. And I think when we think about AI and trusting AI, because we're on that journey still, we don't know, the risk appetite of different organizations, how much are we going to trust AI to do some of these jobs for us? And I think the way that we've implemented it and having a confidence assessment, it's not just presenting an alert as fact, it's saying we have low confidence or maybe high confidence that this is the case. And I think that is a really nice way of implementing AI in a way that we can start increasing our trust. And like you say, a low confidence alert, you think, okay, I've got to do a little bit more digging just to make sure that's definitely correct. And again, on that journey, we're building confidence in AI, and it's an exciting place to be. So immediately it's going to give SOC analysts the benefit, but over time, I think, it's going to just allow us to really adopt Agentic AI in security operations.
Oh, that's really cool. I think it's just simplifying things for users, because I think the world of security analysts nowadays, you're saying, I need you to probably learn how to write bash scripts, those type of things, and I need you to know networking and infrastructure and applications and service trees. Now I'm asking you to look at agentic and probably social engineering. What you're asking of these people is immense. So I really like that simplification with triage, helping with that workflow. I mean, seeing what you saw today versus maybe where you were when you first started the workplace a while ago, night and day?
Yeah, definitely. I think, we're always going to need the human in the loop. The jobs are going to exist because the analysis skills that you need to really dig deep into and add that context, the business context that you need to make decisions in, particularly incident management, we're always going to need those skills. But the kind of weighting of those different skills that you need to do those, entry-level SOC analyst jobs is changing. The ability to translate what the AI output looks like and make that meaningful for customers or meaningful for your stakeholders is a much, more important skill now than it was potentially when I started, because actually a lot of my time was spent, analysing alerts and triaging, which, like we say, Agentic AI is going to help us do a lot of that.
So you think, actually we can, the skills that we need are going to change. Whereas when you started, they were looking for deep techies like you to be able to really go in that. Whereas now we're looking at security professionals who are not going to battle with tools. So I think that's, for me, looking at the Splunk tooling, I was technical once in a while, but actually I could actually jump straight in and use like the AI canvas, use some of the assistants, actually be productive, hopefully relatively quickly, although I wouldn't let you give me a scorecard on how I did as a security analyst.
Oh yeah, well, we'll have to try it, won't we?
Yeah, we're definitely going to try it. So maybe not live, I'm not brave enough to demo like Kirsty did, and please, watch that keynote, that was phenomenal.
Amazing,
So we're in the era, we talked about agentic, but also in the era of AI. When we think about the kind of the Cisco vision of connecting the world with Cisco, Splunk, bringing AI into that, like what excites you and what do you think EMEA customers should be thinking about when they're building out that strategy?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think we are uniquely positioned, aren't we? We've got the hardware that Cisco bring, and like I say, right down the bottom, the stack that they're thinking about AI-ready infrastructure. Like they're considering absolutely every element of their networking stack to make sure it's ready for the AI era that we're seeing now. And then obviously what we bring in the observability and the security space, the partnership is unique. Like where else can do both of those things really, really well, at the industry leader level. So that itself is super exciting. I'm sure customers are excited to see what we're going to do with this partnership. And like you say, we're starting to roll out some of the stuff already in the short time that we've been together. So for EMEA customers, I think just keep watching where we're putting out stuff all the time now, and hopefully within the strategic advisory function that we sit in, we can support customers to really understand what that means for them and have conversations around data strategy and try and have alignment on what Cisco and Splunk can give you.
Yeah, and for me, in the keynote that G2 did, there was a slide where it talked about from silicon all the way up through to agents, actually being able to take all of those layers, look how they're interconnected. And then what made me start to think about it was actually to go in and prepare these models. So we announced the time series model that actually need full fidelity of the information, because before we were limited by what a human brain could understand.
Of course,
I would say yours probably a bit more than mine, but that's why we'd aggregate data down, right?
Okay.
Because it was too complicated to see every single bit of data, whereas now actually the advantage of being able to get full fidelity with things like iSurveillance all the way down at silicon, through to kind of the metrics hitting on the infrastructure and the application side, then bringing on that smarts. It allows us to build these most phenomenal kind of AI models to help people out. And
it is. It's like you say, the machine GPT. Wow, that is so exciting. I can't wait to see what we do with that.
So looking into the future, right? So I'm going to start. I'm going to allow you to ask me a question. I think it feels very one-sided at the moment. But like going into the future with where would you think we're going to be in 2 to 3 years' time? What do you think we're going to be tackling? And
Good question. Sometimes it feels like we're keeping up with the adversary. I think think back to the threat landscape. I think we are keeping up. I think that's definitely true. I think, but we're just going to have to continue to innovate. And I think it's not necessarily, I couldn't write you a 5-year roadmap where I think our technology landscape is going to go. I mean, who can, right? Yeah. But I think just being open to innovation and being open to the feedback that we're hearing from customers and really, like we do, get alongside them, particularly at C-suite and the practitioner level, just understanding what their problems are of today and just being reactive and responsive to what they're seeing, because they know it best, right? And they should really drive our products like they do, and we're a key mechanism for doing that.
Nice. And then you're without a shadow of a doubt a superstar security expert.
Thank you.
But you've also been we've been dipping into the observability side. I think when we think about digital resilience, we're trying to go and bring all of that together. It's not just a security problem. It's not an IT problem. It's kind of almost that monitoring problem, bringing people together. Yeah. How are you finding looking at it in a different way, because you've never had to probably think about that as much before?
No, I haven't, but I think it's actually it's the same, right? If the business experiences an impact, the first response isn't whose fault it is. I mean, it shouldn't be anyway, should it? But
no,
some people might.
Fault, clearly your fault.
But there is that kind of that moment of time where you're like, is it a security problem or is it a performance issue? And at the time, the business don't really care. They just need their critical systems back. So I think we're seeing that kind of more platform focused element. We need data to be able to get to the decision and really root cause what is the problem. But I think they're equally as important, because at the end of the day, the business just wants their tools and systems working as expected.
Yeah, and I think that's that simplicity key, right? And actually, it's about communication. How do we actually go and bring teams closer together, rather than I'm right, you're wrong, or probably you're right, I'm wrong. It's like using with that Cisco data fabric, we'll actually be able to see across data, and we can use data to say, okay, why are we seeing this differently? I'm the IT person, you're the security person. Why are we in conflict? So I think that's going to the answer faster with kind of what we're doing with our products.
And keep relationships intact, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Healthy friction's good between IT and security, but actually you want them kind of working together.
Exactly, yeah. We need to.
I'm going to give you a chance to ask me a question, because I think we've been
curveball. What's your favourite bit, right? You've been to many of these, you've just said, we're seeing iteration in terms of product developments and the community is getting stronger. After all those many years, what still excites you today?
I think still first, this is like by far my favourite week of the year. I'm like a child, I'm so excited about it. But I think when we actually look at the complexity of technology, so back when I was at university, tech seems complicated, but now looking back at it, it almost feels prehistoric. A database, a bit of middleware, and kind of a front-end web server. Whereas now you look at anything like what you can do with technology is breathtaking. I gave you a hard question: what's 3 years away look like? Actually, no one has an idea because it's going so fast. But actually seeing the portfolio coming together. So actually when we think about observability, we look at security with just a different lens on the same data. Being able to start to bring all the different data sources together into that data fabric. And then the beginnings of, I'm almost showing my age, kind of like HD ready, 4K ready, like the foundations for the agentic era. I feel that's what we're really delivering on at the moment. So as we start to ramp up that agentic, as our customers start to go and think about deploying agentic, we've got that underlying platform ready for them to go and capitalize on that opportunity. So that, I felt proud actually, just sat there in the audience and we're delivering for our customers.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Lauren, thank you so much for sharing kind of your insights. Then your first conf, so a recap, I think we definitely have I'm going to call it Keynote Kirsty, a phenomenal thing to stand on stage and do that demo, but kind of show what we're achieving kind of with agentic. And actually the ability to write a natural language query, not have to know the tools, it's starting to say, hey, I can look into the networking for you and start to show it, because that's a specialist domain knowledge, right? I understand it, but I really don't understand networking. So having that presented, I think that's a big highlight. I think digital resilience and what it's doing for the EMEA customers, that data layer, kind of that recap. And I think for you, the future, just exciting.
It is just exciting,
the possibility is exciting.
And it can be scary, right? And I think there is that kind of reticence about adoption of any of new technology, but at the same time, I think we just need to be really open to the amazing opportunities it's going to give us at the same time.
Lauren, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for joining this LinkedIn Live. Definitely go and watch all of the replays for the keynotes. They're online. You can go and see how amazing Kirsty Payne was for that demo. I think we're going to be hearing about that probably for the next year. Kirsty is still massively enjoying kind of that glow from that amazing keynote. Thank you so much for being with us. It's been amazing, and we hope to see you at .conf26 next year.